Howdy folks, me again, doing another video. This one's about extroverts. The next one's gonna be about introverts, so don't worry. You can't really put people into a box and say they're just like this, but I'm gonna anyway. So if you're an extrovert, if you know an extrovert, I just got some pointers and some tips and just, I don't know, a way of looking at the whole idea of being an extrovert or an introvert. We're just above the ocean here. We're literally on the shore, so that's what that noise is. So I'm an extrovert, so I have a little bit of experience, I guess, in this realm, and I've really tried hard to rein my energy in, if you will. And so if you're an extrovert who doesn't have problems with people, with your communication, and no one's ever telling you that you're too much, you're too intense, or you're not scaring away people, then just turn this off. You don't need any of this advice. If you know someone that might be too extroverted, then, you know, maybe listen on. So this is what this is for, you know, if it's not working for you. So even an introvert who finds themselves more enthusiastic, say sometimes, and more extroverted, sometimes they might scare people away or be too intense. So this is advice for them too, really. Anyone who's having issues with their the potency of their energy. Okay, let's see. Extrovert. So it's more like a dog, you know. Introvert being like a cat. And so for me, it's about how you affect the space, right? So you enter into a room, and if you're turned up too loud as an extrovert, you're a little bit self-centered, just saying. And so you might not take notice of what's happening. So you enter the room and you're like, hey, what's going on? Guess what just happened to me? Yeah, more about me, and ho, hey, and hey, what about that? And whoo, look at you. And okay, that's great. Yay, you're life of the party. Yay, look at everything's all fun now because you're here. Good, okay. The thing is, before you got there was a conversation, a very beautiful conversation about what have you. You know, someone's trip to Egypt. And maybe it was an introvert expressing themselves. And then you came in kind of like this barrel of energy, good times, kind of like lightning, and sort of mowed over their scene, if you will. This is just one example, but that's the idea. If you're turned up too loud as an extrovert, you're a bit too much for the situation. And so for that one in particular, say the advice is, when you enter a room, when you enter a space, you know, be yourself, be authentic, be charismatic, be enthusiastic, sure, but take a breath, relax. You come in, hey everybody, I'm here, woo, look what I'm wearing, I'm crazy, yeah. Now just be quiet for a little bit. Just look around the room. Might be awkward, just 3 seconds of silence. Wait through that silence. Don't feel like you have to say something. Something was going on before you entered the room. Just wait for it. Boom! Someone else starts talking. They share a story. They share a comment. They say something. As an extrovert turned up too loud, you've got a story too. Look at that. You've got 13 stories that you want to tell back to back about what they just said. Don't stop doing that. It drives people crazy. Once in a while, tell your story. When you're up, you're up. When you're on. But for a while even, try to not be up and not be on, and see what happens. It's really beautiful, actually. It's really magical. I went on this journey myself, and I was humbled, really, and embarrassed, but really fascinated by the fact that if I'm quiet, there's the things I'm thinking of actually get spoken too. Just because my mind's spinning really fast and I'm thinking of all these things at once and I've got to get them out. There's something beautiful about not saying anything. You know, there's a story being told and you've got a story, you can't wait. You're not even listening to their story because yours is so good, you're going to share it right away. Just don't. Just stop, take a deep breath, ask a question about that person's story. Ask another question, not leading into your story. That's the worst. Asking questions so that it leads into what you know, once in a while, but don't make it a habit. Ask a question, find out more stuff. Just breathe, this gets a little hippie, but for me, it's like I breathe my story into the space. Like, yeah, I remember that time I took LSD and went scuba diving. Whoa! Just breathe it in. Don't even talk about it. You don't have to one-up the guy who went snorkeling for the first time. You know, just take it easy. So that's my general advice right off the bat there for an extrovert. Don't be too hard on yourselves, because it's really easy. There's a big movement now of kind of treating the extroverted, sort of narcissistic energy as bad, alpha male, bad. You know, you guys are the problem of the world. And it's like, okay, relax, everybody. Don't worry. I'll talk to the introverts about that later. But so try not to be too hard on yourself, because we need extroverts. We need enthusiasm. We need sparks of energy. We need sun energy, if you will, and lightning kind of chaos to bring more richness to our lives, and more fun and more spontaneity. And so we got all those things going for the most part, most extroverts. And so keep doing that, and may question yourself this: are you getting enough stage time? I had a good friend of mine who talked a lot in the bar. He'd just be like, hey, ho, hey, ha. And I loved him. He's a great guy, but he talked too much. And then he's funny. Then he went and did some acting. Actually, stand-up shows, stand-up gigs. And then he was cool as a cucumber afterwards. It was amazing to watch. I'm like, Marky, what's up? He's like, hey man, just chilling. I'm like, you look good. What's going on? He goes, yeah, man. I'm just sitting here drinking my beer. You know, he had nothing to say. And he said that, yeah, he feels like because he got stage time, because he got a vehicle for expression, then he could just sort of relax. It was like something he was missing. And so he was like, hey, everybody, hey, over here, I got a funny joke. And so it's just another interesting thing to think about as far as if you're extroverted, that maybe you need some stage time, maybe on social media, maybe an open mic night, maybe in the theater, maybe you're writing poems, writing stories, maybe you're doing some artwork out in the open where everyone can see, and you're getting appreciated, and you're getting acknowledged, because there seems to be a connection there as far as, look at me, right? And it's like, oh, hey, we see you. And so, yeah, find healthy ways to be acknowledged that aren't disturbing the peace, if you will. So yeah, it's another thing to think about. What else? So yeah, for me, it's about the slow burning fire instead of the bonfire, right? And so it's about conserving your energy. And for me, yoga and meditation helps me with that. And so whenever I'm feeling really sort of hyper, yoga, meditation. Whenever I'm feeling really down, yoga, meditation. And it sort of gives me more of an even keel. And so that's something definitely to look at. And then I know there's the whole thing of the fact that there's a thing about extroverts actually being really insecure, and that's why they're being so boisterous, if you will, enthusiastic. So that goes back to the be gentle on yourself and really be honest about how you feel about life, and this mask that you put on as the confident clown, if you will, or the confident sort of alpha man or alpha female, alpha person. This mask is just how you're perceived by others and how you want others to perceive you. And so just to be honest with yourself and sort of take that off and really look at what's inside and see, oh yeah, actually, I'm lonely. I want more appreciation. I don't feel like I'm acknowledged enough. Whatever it is, and just do some work there, see a therapist, do some artwork around it, write a poem about it, or do a sculpture, write a song, and just move around the idea that there's an old story, an old pattern that's creating this anxiety, or creating this need to hey ho ha, if you will, dominate a situation. And so yeah, and introverts, we need them. They're like the rocks. And a lot of my friends are introverts, and I find them, they have a stability. We've all got our problems, so some of them are crazy, whatever. We've all got our stuff. But there is this more subtle energy, you know what I mean? And so it's like they're more like the ocean. We're more like a river, or, you know, rain, you know, kind of shallow is a strong word, but it seems like there's more depth to the introverted people. And so, and it seems like they make a good combination. You know what I mean? The intro and extra. You see them as couples and hanging out. And so, what my wish is that we find some peace with each other, and don't resent the other. You know, and so for me, fellow extroverts, you know, be gentle with the introverts. Try not to be overbearing. Try not to take advantage of the fact that they're not going to talk non-stop constantly like you are. And so just take some breaths, you know what I mean? And just ask them some more questions, and just ask people, what tell me what it's like dealing with me, being with me, and try and get honest answers out of people. And then you can, you know, act accordingly. So what else? So yeah, the whole lightning thing for me, it's like lightning's amazing, lightning's thrilling, and it's fantastic, but you don't want to see it all the time, you know? After an hour of lightning, you're like, whoa, this is crazy. After 2 hours, you're like, oh, okay, is the dog still in the bathtub? And then I got the 3 hours of lightning and thunder and such. You're like, you're worried, you know what I mean? And so just think of the same idea of your energy. It's like, do it, be yourself, be authentic, and then just have a little bit of peace there, have a little bit of silence, and again, watch. Here's another one. Okay, if something's missing, if something's missing, it's a frisbee. Extroverts are like really fast. Oh, we see it, the frisbee. Just relax. Especially if there's kids around, for God's sakes. But if you see if you see the thing that's missing, maybe don't be the hero. Maybe don't be I found it. Look at that. I am the creator of good times and the manifester of frisbees. Yay. Sorry to give you such a hard time, but in this culture especially, it's not hard to be to stand out as being obnoxious. This is a pretty tame, some would say lame culture. But on that thread of, yeah, just hold back a little bit on being the hero and getting the recognition. It's just more advice, you know. I'm sort of saying the same thing over and over with different examples, but yeah, I just kind of want to bring that home. So different things like the quiet, and then like eye contact. Give people some space. Give people a moment to sort of collect themselves when you see them first thing in the morning before coffee or whatever it is. Maybe look to the side a little and look at, you know, briefly sort of gaze at them and then look away. Try that. I tried not looking at anyone for a week. It was like, you know, until they came right up to me. But when they walked in to the room or something, I wouldn't be like a puppy, you know, like, oh, hey, what's going on? Wonder what they're thinking, you know. It's like, just take it easy and try not to be so concerned about what other people are doing, what's going on, and just sort of, you know, just bring it down. So anyway, that's just my 5 cents, my nickel on what it is to think about if you're an extrovert. Okay, have a good day, everybody.